It's another Rant and Ramble with yours truly. Today we are discussing A Dowry of Blood, which was the fourth book on my October TBR that I have completed. I rated A Dowry of Blood 2.75 stars. Let's go ahead and discuss. Before we get started, I want this point to lead the way into this review and discussion. S.T. Gibson's writing style was 1 star alone. It was amazing. S.T. Gibson, you're on my radar, okay? Her writing style bordered from quick and visceral to haunting and poetic. There was so much prose in this book that I wanted to highlight. I did not because I wanted a red highlighter, but that's beside the point. So many lines have stuck with me and sent chills down the spine of my back. I think S.T. Gibson also did a wonderful job with the characters, but we'll get onto that in a second. The reason why this book only has 2.75 stars from me is because engagement and enjoyment were lacking so much. I personally just don't think this was the type of book that I would want to read, at least at this point in my life. In A Dowry of Blood, we follow Constanta as she writes letters to her late husband, who's not really so late. I mean, he died very late in his life. Why? Because Constanta's husband is Dracula. Even though it's not explicitly stated in the book, it is stated on the back in the blurb. So I don't really think this is a spoiler because it is literally the first thing you read in this book is that Constanta kills Dracula. And these letters are a way for her to justify and explain to her deceased beloved why she did what she did, and also basically just explain her side of their relationship over the years. The themes in this book of power, of obsession, of desire are all very palpable and make it tolerable for a read. However, the plot was lacking for me. Because the plot, the whole idea of why she is writing these letters is to justify the act of murdering her husband. And within the first maybe 30-40 pages, I was like, I get it. I totally get it. I would murder him too. He sounds terrible. So for me, the plot was lacking because it was so evident as to why she would do it. But Gibson did a great job. Most victims in an abusive relationship probably wouldn't leave as soon as they pick up that this is an abusive relationship. So it's kind of accurate, but with like vampires. The whole content of this book just was not my cup of tea. I was very irked by a lot of the events in here. Obviously, we're dealing with abuse, like that's understandable. But also like the unwanted to wanted polyamory thing. Reading about Alexei was quite disturbing considering that they're like a vampiric family and they're all kind of like siblings and call each other such, but yet they have this like romantic and sexualized relationship. So yeah, this book lost a lot of points for engagement and enjoyment and also the plot. I do though think that the characters were really fleshed out. I loved reading about their interactions because every single character brought something new to the dynamic. However, the characters also kind of lost a few stars for me, particularly at the end. I didn't believe that everything that they had been through and who they were as people, as I have come to understand, would act this way. There were some redeeming acts that I could get behind, but the overall presence of like their marriage and their love, just I didn't buy it. Particularly for Constanta, it didn't make sense to me. But if you are a fan of LGBTQ, polyamory, vampires, really haunting, atmospheric writing, then I would suggest reading this and you might love it. Who knows? Anyways, love you guys. Bye!